charging.
Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the DreameBot L10 Pro by DreameTech. I did receive this product to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product or want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in my video description below. Check out the nice retail box and packaging right here. So cool. If you haven't noticed already, this is a 2-in-1 RoboVac, so it's a vacuum and a mop. And it features smart app control, so we can use iOS and Android devices to control this vacuum cleaner. And you can see on this side, we have additional features as well. LDS high precision navigation and 3D obstacle avoidance and 4000 PA strong suction to give you that nice, deep, and thorough clean. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the package contents. Here are all the package contents. First up, we have your user guide and manual walking us through important safety instructions. They identify all the package contents for us, product overviews, letting us know all the controls, sensors, dustbin, charging dock, mopping module. We have how to prepare our environment for proper cleaning, preparations before use, installing the Mi Home Xiaomi Home app with QR code. Then we have how to use instructions with all the different features and modes and settings that we get. Routine maintenance tips and tricks as well for you to follow. And then you can see we have an FAQ section for troubleshooting and support. We also have some specs right here. 5200 milliamp hour battery, up to 2.5 hours of runtime, 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi connection, 46 watts for our rated power. Charging dock specs as well too. And then we have multiple languages repeating that same information. Next up, we have a nice quick start guide showing us how to prepare the vacuum before first use, remove protective film, install the side brush, it'll click in place, plug in the charging base, charge up the vacuum. Then you can see on the back side, we have a QR code to download and install the Xiaomi Home app. Then we can start cleaning. So next up, you can see the mopping module right here with instructions of how to use it. You can see where we're gonna fill it up. We can also use this spot right here. If the water dripping is too slow or uneven, we can go ahead and we can free up the air hole right here to make sure that it's running properly. You can see the contacts for installation on the vacuum. On the back side, you can see the mopping pad itself is removable, so we can wash and clean that. Next up, you can see our power cord and the charging base right here. You can see the charging contacts. Check it out. From this side, you can see where we're going to plug in the power cord. Here it is from the back side and the other side. Here's the very bottom. You can see the grip feet that we have to keep it in place. So it's not going to move around at all on the floor. Then you can see our side cleaning brush right here. And last but not least, we have the vacuum itself. Let's go ahead. Let's look at that in more detail. So here's the vacuum up close. Check it out. You can see from the top, we have our Lidar navigation module. We have our DreameTech logo and branding, a beautiful black glossy finish. You can see our 3 buttons up at the top to control the vacuum. So we have our spot cleaning mode, our power button, which we can also press to enable the vacuum to start cleaning. And we have our return to home to charge button right there. We can also open up the flap, check it out, to reveal the dustbin. We can press this to remove the dustbin. Now we can go ahead, we can open it up and we can empty everything out. You can see what that looks like. We have a replaceable filter on the back side, easy to clean. Press that back in place. You can see our included tool right here. So we have a nice included tool with a brush on it to clean the vacuum as needed. We have our reset button and our Wi-Fi indicator light right there, right under the cover. Now let's go look at it from the sides. You can see on this side right here, we have a sensor and our collision bumper. So you can see the bumper in motion right there. Here it is from the front side. You can see we have our high precision 3D obstacle avoidance sensor. Check that out. So cool with our collision bumper again. Here it is from the other side. We don't have any sensors on that side. Here it is from the back side. You can see our ventilation right here. Now we can flip it upside down and you can see the bottom of this vacuum cleaner. First up, we have our omnidirectional wheel, our cliff sensors, so it can know if it's gonna drive off anything. It won't drive off your staircase or anything like that. It can sense when a cliff or an edge is nearby. Our charging contacts, our spot to attach our side brush. You can see our spring-loaded wheels right here. DreameBot L10 Pro with more tech specs for you. You can see our mopping module contacts right here. We also have our main brush. We can go ahead. We can easily remove this to clean. So there we go. We took the brush out. We can put the brush right back in, and then everything just snaps right back in place. Now let's go ahead, let's get everything else set up and installed. Now we're ready to install the side brush and the mopping module. So let's flip it back over. And first let's attach the side brush. So we got to line everything up right here. Once we have it lined up, just gently press it in place. You can see it snapped right in. And now we have successfully installed our side brush. In regards to the mopping module, you can see the contacts right here and the contact points on the vacuum. So just line everything up and it slides right in and it'll snap in place. Now you can see everything has successfully been installed. If you don't want to use the mopping module or need to refill it, you can just gently press the buttons on both sides. So you can see we have a gray button there and we have a gray button on this side, and we can remove the mopping module very easily, refill it, and then we can just gently slide everything right back in place again. It just clips right on, and the vacuum's ready to go again to enable the mopping feature. Now let's go ahead, let's plug everything in, charge it up, and set it up. Now you can see the vacuum cleaner's charging right now with the home base plugged in. We also have this Xiaomi Home app downloaded on our mobile device. You can see the home screen right here where we already have a vacuum cleaner added. But in this case, we're gonna be adding this new vacuum cleaner. Let's select the plus icon in the top right-hand corner. Now we have to choose our device. Let's scroll down to router right here, you can see, and then we can go a little bit further. And now you can see we have our Robo vacuums right here. So now we have to choose the correct model. In this case, it's the DreameBot L10 Pro right in the middle. Let's select that one. Now it's gonna load for us. Here we go, we have to press the spot and dock buttons for 3 seconds. Let's do that right now.
Waiting for the network setup.
So we got the proper signal. Now let's select next. And now you can see we can connect to our Wi-Fi network right here. So go ahead, select your Wi-Fi network and select next. Now we're ready to go to our Wi-Fi settings. We're to connect to the vacuum itself. So go into your Wi-Fi settings and look for Dreame Vacuum. So you can see we're in our settings right here and it shows up at the bottom, Dreame Vacuum. We're gonna select that. Now you can see we're connected to the vacuums network and we're ready.
And the phone are connected.
Oh, it
Please
just
return to the Xiaomi Home app and wait for the network connection to complete.
So we just got our verbal cues that everything's connected and it's time to go back into the Xiaomi Home app. So now you can see we're back into the app and you can see the device is connected, message sent to device, and now it's finishing up connecting the device to our network. Everything connected within 30 seconds, and now you can see we can choose our room, add to favorites. So in this case, let's select living room. And now you can see we'll keep it added to favorites. We can select next. We can rename the device if we want right here. Let's keep it currently at that name for now. And now we can select next again. And there we go. Everything was added successfully. Now you can see we have a couple more options down here. Share the home, only share this device. If we wanted to include some friends or family members, let's get started. And now you can see it's taking us into the vacuum device settings right here, and it's walking us through the proper setup instructions that we talked about earlier, how to organize your home, get your shoes, get stuff up off the floor, cords out of the way, tidy up so it just can really navigate very easily. And then you can see how to set up the charging dock. Make sure you have it spaced a little bit away from the wall so it has some freedom to move in and out to charge. And get the cords up out of the way as well. Now we can go to the next step. You can see we have our resume cleaning modes. we can turn that on too right here. So low battery, the robot will return to the dock to recharge automatically. Once the battery is fully charged, the robot will resume cleaning. So we can select that. Here we go. We could start a cleanup and it'll create our first map. We also have a firmware update right now. Let's go ahead. Let's get the firmware updated. So you can see current version, latest version. Let's go ahead. Let's update that so we can fix any sort of bugs. And now you can see it's going to update the firmware for us.
About 5 minutes. Do not turn it off, nor start a cleaning task.
All right, 5 minutes it said, don't turn it off or start a cleaning task. Now let's go ahead, let's wait for it to finish updating. So the firmware was successful, took about 1.5 minutes to update. We can select confirm. Now we're taken back into the vacuum's device settings right here. So you can see we have the DreameBot L10 Pro. It's currently charging. We have no map yet since we haven't run the vacuum yet. So first, let's go in the top right-hand corner. Let's look at some of the device settings. So first up, you can see our device settings right here. So we have our time zone. We can turn on or off the 3D high precision obstacle avoidance. We can adjust the voice and volume as well too. So you can see it's loading the data for us. We're going to leave it as it is. Then you can see notifications on or off, carpet boost. So when enabled, the robot will automatically turn on maximum suction after recognizing the carpet and automatically resume normal suction after leaving the carpet. So this is effective after it starts working in a non-carpet area. So let's turn that on. Resume cleaning mode. After being turned on, the robot will automatically return to the dock to charge if the battery is too low. When the battery is sufficient, the robot will continue cleaning. So you no longer have to worry about battery life. And then we have do not disturb mode. We can turn that on or off as well. And then here's mop cleaning. After turning on, the vacuum mop will remind to clean the cloth after the set time. So we can turn on a nice reminder right here to clean the mop. And we can go back. You can see our cleaning mode. So we have a couple different options: quiet, standard, strong, and turbo. Quiet will give us the longest battery life. Turbo will give us the strongest suction power. Then you can see water flow settings, low, medium, or high. We can schedule a cleanup right here. So it's going to load for us. We can add a schedule. The cleaning range, so we could choose everywhere or just an individual room. The start time, hour, minute. Then we have the repeat option. Which days of the week do we want it to repeat? Cleaning mode. What suction setting do we want for that specific schedule? And then same for mopping. So we could do high. And that's it. You can set the schedule right there. We can view our cleaning history. Once we have some, we can see a nice breakdown of all the different cleaning routines that the vacuum has run in the performance, total area, duration, and total times cleaned. Then we can see accessory usage right here. So we have a nice breakdown of when it's time to service, change, and replace things. Let's click on one. So here's filters. You can see we can reset that as well too. Same for the side brush. We have all of those options. Pretty cool. Then you can see remote control. So we can use our mobile device to drive the vacuum. Then we have locate my robot. Let's select that.
The robot is here.
We have a nice voice prompt to let us know where the robot is around our house. Device name, location management, device sharing. We can share this device with friends or family members. Intelligent scene. So you can see we have a couple different options there. If we want to automate this with other smart products. Firmware update, help and feedback. We have more settings right here too. Add a home screen shortcut if we wanted to. And we can delete the device. Now let's go back out. Now you can see, like I said, no map is populated, so we can't see any rooms or zones yet. But we have our charging option down here at the bottom, so you can see that, currently charging. Then we have our start cleanup if we wanted to activate the vacuum to start a clean right now. And then we can see our map management and virtual wall settings. We'll look at those once it gets the first clean out of the way and it populates a map for us. So now let's go ahead, let's let it charge up, and then let's use it with our first clean around the house. So here we go, the vacuum is doing its initial clean. So it's gonna make a perimeter around the whole first floor of our house, navigating all the obstacles. Once it locks in the perimeter, then it's going to go back and forth in a logical cleaning pattern. So it's going to be methodical in how it approaches the clean of your house and your floors, so it's not going to miss any area. So instead of just adapting to the environment, it's actually going to be able to know where it's at. It's going to see where it's at thanks to the Lidar navigation, and then it's going to clean methodically back and forth in your house. So you can see it in action going along the baseboards right here. Just making that perimeter sweep first as it maps the house. Now you can see it navigating obstacles right here. It's under the kitchen table, going right through the chair legs. So you can see how it's navigating that using all of its sensors and its collision bumper. And it's able to go right under there to give you a really precise clean, to get all those crumbs, pet hair, the hard to reach areas. And it doesn't have any trouble coming right back out of the chair either to go on to the next area to clean. Now you can see the RoboVac doing its logical cleaning patterns right here. So you can see it's going to go back and forth in a methodical pattern, giving you a precise clean every time. Now I wanted to demonstrate how the RoboVac has no issues transitioning between a hard surface and a rug like you see here. So let's go ahead, let's use the remote control, and you can see we can turn it on. We're driving on the rug, no issues there. We're half on, half off. We're back on the rug, we're back off. And you can see we can transition effortlessly between the two different surfaces. And you're not gonna have any issues in your house if you have rugs all throughout. It's going to be able to encounter those obstacles just fine and give you a nice clean on both surfaces. So now you can see we have another rug right here that I'm going to drive the RoboVac on so you guys can get a feel for what it's like with those thicker shag rugs. Typically, most of the RoboVacs will encounter this rug, either not go up on it because the front bumper is triggered, or if they do make it up there, they eventually get stuck. So let's go ahead, let's drive it up right now. You can see we're able to drive up. And now the suction power increased because it senses we're on a rug. And we're actually able to move around and maneuver some, but you can see like right here, it's having some trouble because that front bumper is getting pressed sometimes, and then the rug is just so thick that this is not an ideal surface area for this vacuum to clean due to the thickness of the shag rug. But your standard carpet's gonna be fine. Your runners, entry rugs, mats, that sort of thing, you're not going to have any issues, but I would not recommend using this RoboVac or any RoboVac on a rug like this due to how thick it is, and it's easy for the RoboVac to get stuck. You can see we're trying to drive off the rug right now, and we're unable to get off the rug due to the sheer thickness of the rug. So let's try that again. Can we get off it? Maybe we'll get lucky this time. And there you go, you can see we were able to get off the rug. But typically about 50% of the time I can come down if I don't have a virtual wall set up. This will be stuck on this rug in the morning. And you can see right here, it had a little trouble even going up on it at first because it was triggered by the bumper. So I typically will just set a virtual wall and use a handheld cordless vacuum to clean the rug. Now we're at the top of the steps with the RoboVac. We're going to try to drive it off the steps so you guys can see that the cliff sensors are working properly and you won't have any issues. So let's go ahead, let's try to drive it off. There you go, you can see it will not go off the ledge. So those edge cliff sensors are working just fine. We can try again. So here we go. We're gonna trick it. Nope, no luck right there. We can try one more time, more at an angle. See if we can drive off. Nope. We are unable to drive off the top of the steps due to all the sensors that are at the bottom of this vacuum to prevent it from any sort of accident. The Dreame RoboVac has enough clearance and power that we can easily drive over our register vent. So let's go ahead, let's drive right over it. No issues right there. Let's turn around. Let's go back on the vent. Let's stop on it. And now let's drive back off. let's turn around one more time. Let's get back up on the vent and let's turn. Now you can see we can turn on it. We're doing a full 360 and we can drive right off. Now you can see we're driving the RoboVac on the carpet right here. We have the standard suction setting turned on. We're able to maneuver just fine, but I can tell that it drives a little bit slower on the carpet, but we're getting some nice lines. You can see we can easily turn and maneuver, but it is slower than if it were cleaning a hard surface. But no issues on the carpet either, besides that slight slowdown in speed. But it's moving just fine back and forth, cleaning our carpets. Now that the floors are clean, we're ready to mop them. So I have the mop attachment installed. Make sure to fill up the tank, get the mop pad itself pretty damp too, and you're all set and ready to go to begin mopping. Keep in mind you have 3 different water level settings. They're all very similar to each other, so I prefer to have the maximum amount of water. Keep in mind too, since you do get the mop damp at start, that'll be the wettest area that you'll have, and then typically it'll continue to dry out as you clean. So keep in mind, maybe you want to do a spot cleaning mode in the area that has the dirtiest spots on your floor. Also, I want you guys to see, pay attention up here. You can see some dirty stains. So I want you guys to see a good before shot of the floor before we begin mopping. So now let's go ahead, let's turn the vacuum on and let's mop the floors. So now we're mopping the floors. I just did a spot clean right here, so it already set the perimeter, and now you can see it's going back and forth, mopping the floor for us. Some spots are gonna be wetter than others. That's pretty consistent. And you can see that it is spreading the water around, but it really helps to have the mop pad pretty damp to start. But I also have waterproof floors, so it really can't be too wet. If you have hardwoods or a more sensitive floor to moisture, then you're definitely gonna wanna make sure that you keep that mop pad pretty dry. And you'll just get a nice little faint, sprinkle of water spread all throughout your floors. But if you have substantial muddy paws from your dog or something like that, it's probably still gonna involve some scrubbing on your end, because this isn't scrubbing, it's just mopping to give you a nice clean. So you can see it just finished mopping the floor. Now let's go ahead, let's let it dry, come back and look at the results. So you can see the floor is mostly dry right now. We still have those stains that will need some additional cleaning besides the 2-in-1 Dreame RoboVac. But I would say overall, it's better to have the mopping feature to get that nice, at least surface clean for your non-heavy duty stains than to not have it at all with the RoboVac. So definitely makes the floor look a lot better to get those easier to wipe up stains that would normally come up with just like a wet paper towel. That's exactly what you'll be able to do with the Dreame 2-in-1 RoboVac. So we just finished our first clean. Let's go ahead, let's empty the dustbin so you can see we removed it very easily. Let's open it up now and dump out all of the contents. So you can see a lot of pet hair right here. Check that out, some human hair. We have some sticks, some dirt, some crumbs. You can see the results just from one clean right here on our hard floors. Did a really good job. This is after having another RoboVac run the previous night, so not even 12 hours later. This is how much we're able to pick up with the Dreame RoboVac. Now that we finished our first clean, let's go back into the mobile app and check out the map that it was able to make. So you can see the map right here, check it out. Everything looks great. So I'm gonna pinch into zoom. You can see on the center of the screen right there, that's our kitchen table and chair legs are those gray dots. The white's the table base. Then you can see in here we got the kitchen cabinets, the high chair. Then we have the front room. You can see how that looks. Mapped it out great. Then you can see right here these white spots. One's a sectional sofa, the other one's a table behind it. Then you can see up here we have an ottoman and a chair. So it really mapped the whole area just fine. It will continue to refine and update the map every time, so you can get a feel for what it looks like, how it's gonna map and see things. We can browse by room. So currently we have room A right here, and we can manage those rooms if we want. We have all, and then we have different zones. So we could do a specific cleaning zone. So let's go back to room. You can see we can select map management. And now you can see it's given us this option here to turn multi-floor maps on. So if we wanted to use this on multiple floors, we can enable that right here and view and change map accordingly, which is pretty cool. So we can enable that. There we go. And then we can go back out. And then you can see we have our virtual wall options right here. So you can see we can add a virtual wall. It's as simple as drag, drop, and place where you want it. Then we can have a restricted cleaning area, so it won't clean in this area. You could add that. Again, drag and drop, just a nice square. Then we have a no-go mop zone. So say you have a rug, carpet, something you don't want the mop on. You can set that up so it knows. So really cool that we have those features, that it's smart enough to be able to do that. Then we can go back out. You can see down here we have 1 or 2 times for the clean. And at the bottom again we have the charging, or we can select the start cleanup and it will begin to clean up for us. You can see too, I just selected A, and now you can see A cleaning 1 time or 2 times. Pretty cool with that. And then we go back into map management, and you can see it's going to pull up our map right there. We don't have any new ones yet. We could create a new map if we wanted. So you can see that's how you're going to set it up. Basically, move the robot and charging dock to the new floor, and you're all set and ready to go for the next map. And you can delete them, make it the current map, that sort of thing. So great features right there. You can see we basically have our room clean, our all, and our zone. When we go back into the settings, we can also go and look at our cleaning history now. We've had a couple cycles run through. So you can see, here's the main one that we used today. 33 minutes of cleaning time, and you can see the pattern right here. I want you guys to see this. This is really important. So you can get a feel for how it's going to operate. So you can see it's going to make a map of the perimeter. In this case, it broke it up into a couple of sections. And then you can see those logical cleaning lines. So it got everywhere. You can see what that looks like. So we got a rug here, which is why it didn't clean over there. You can see the table legs with the chair, the high chair. Got a big rug in here too, and a table blocking it. So it did exactly what it was supposed to do right here. But it did a full clean in our area of around 33 minutes, 38 minutes total in our cleaning history. So you can see that. We can learn from that and view those settings in the future too, once we have even more cleans lined up and completed. But there's the mobile app. You can get a good idea and feel for the features that you get with this vacuum and how it's able to intelligently map your house and provide you with a great clean. So let me share with you guys my final thoughts on the DreameBot L10 Pro. First, this is coming from somebody that currently uses the DreameTech D9 as my main RoboVac. It's basically identical to this vacuum besides the color. It's in white, and the L10 Pro gives us some increased internal performance. So we get a larger battery, longer battery life, and we get even stronger suction power. So I really like the design of it. The experience is great. Having the 2-in-1 mop functionality is top notch. The biggest takeaway for you is to make sure whatever vacuum cleaner you land on, get one with Lidar. You will thank me later. Don't even look at a vacuum if it doesn't have Lidar. This is going to be the best bang for your buck, even if it costs you a couple more dollars. With Lidar navigation, we get all those advanced smart features because guess what? The vacuum not only sees your area, but it processes and understands the environment, and that is crucial. So we get the virtual walls, we get that logical cleaning pattern, we get the no-go zones, the no mop zones, the no clean zones, the room segregation, all of that good stuff we get with the Lidar internals and just smarts and brains of this RoboVac. Now, with that being said, I wasn't able to change the rooms. When it mapped my first floor, it just called everything room A, and I couldn't find a way to split it up. So I'm hoping that comes in the future because this does offer OTA updates, which is great, so it can update for you automatically, which is pretty cool. And they continue to build out features. Again, we have the multi-level mapping, which is an awesome feature too. If you want to use this, in your basement, your first floor, your second story, that sort of thing, you can do that with this vacuum. So it does have some of the high-end capabilities offered on the market today. Also, I wasn't able to get Amazon Alexa to work. I was not able to have success with voice control. I was able to enable it within the Alexa app, but it never found any of the devices like this vacuum cleaner. So I'm hoping maybe that gets updated in the future too, so we can get the voice controls, even though honestly, I never use them. It's good enough just to use the mobile app on your phone. And honestly, even that I don't even use. I just set the schedule so it can run every night and I forget about it. Then occasionally I'll have to come in, every 2-3 days, fill up the mop tank if I want it to be mopping, and that's the only maintenance I ever have to do with it. So I'm a big fan of RoboVacs overall with all the time that they save you. Yes, it might only clean 90% of the way versus you using a traditional vacuum, but that's the key. I don't have to do it, and it can run every day for me, and I don't have to clean my house every day thanks to this vacuum cleaner. I'd rather have my house be 90% clean every day versus 100% clean once a month or once every 2 weeks or once company comes over. So that's my biggest takeaway. Get the Lidar and then get anything to automate the areas in your life that you don't have to focus on, because it frees you up to be able to do the things you love, whether that's watch TV, read a book, go on a walk, go on a run, whatever your hobbies are. You'll be able to do that more and enjoy that more and spend less time on those mundane chores. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.